We're continuing to follow breaking news out of Florida. The FBI is opening a hate crime investigation after a lone white gunman shot and killed 3 black people at a Dollar General store in Jacksonville before turning the gun on himself. The local sheriff called it a racially motivated attack, saying that the shooter, quote, hated black people. And according to police, the shooter sent manifestos that detailed racial hatred to law enforcement, media outlets, and his parents. We also learned that the gunman used a Glock handgun and an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, in the attack. At least one of the firearms had been painted with a swastika. Sadly, we've been here before. Time and time again, mass shootings have become all too common in America. Nowhere is safe. No one is safe. And this latest incident is a reminder of why we need to take immediate action to prevent gun violence. As my next guest puts it, quote, we can't wait another damn day on gun violence prevention legislation. Joining me now is Florida Congressman Maxwell Frost. Maxwell, it's always so nice to spend time with you. It's sad to have to spend time with you after what happened yesterday. I wanted to ask you straight out of the gate your reaction to that racially motivated shooting that occurred on the same weekend that we are commemorating the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington.
You know, yesterday when I got the news about the shooting, before we had all the information, I was already enraged, obviously, because we lose 100 lives a day due to gun violence. The leading cause of death for children is to be shot. And so I quickly put out a statement and condemned what happened and said, we need action right here in Florida right now on gun violence. And then a couple hours passed and we read about the swastika on the gun, the fact that this killer, this murderer, this racist bigot went to a HBCU, Edward Waters University, to hunt black people there, was turned away by a security guard, and then went to this Dollar General to hunt black people and kill them. And I have to say that we have been talking about this in this state for a long time and saying that the rhetoric from our governor, and not just him, but this far right fascist movement that he embraces, that he champions, it's going to start killing people. And it's been killing people in our state. And so we have a lot of work to do. We have to condemn it. And we need the governor to come back to Florida and get out of Iowa and call a special session so that way we can focus on gun violence and racial justice in the state.
Maxwell, I appreciate that point about what's happening in Florida. I mean, it is no secret to those that are paying attention. Black history, it's being whitewashed. You've got new curricula in school that's going to teach students, my children, right, that black people benefited from being slaves. You've got DEI, diversity, programs that are being eliminated in Florida. I mean, black people, they're being degraded to a level of not even being recognized as humans anymore. So how can this just not make it easier for them to be viewed as okay to murder?
Well, see, this is part of a playbook. This governor, we did an ad hoc hearing on this. His goal is to consolidate power. They understand that the electorate is not on board with this agenda. The electorate doesn't want fascism, doesn't want an authoritarian leader. But what they understand is last year in 2022, 70% of Gen Z and young millennials voted for Democrats. And so the right wing is waking up. They understand that they need to consolidate power now. They need to figure out how to implement a government that operates on minority rule. And that's why we see things like the book ban, which you don't even need to be a parent to a petition to have a book taken off the shelves in a school. You can just be anybody. And so they've wised up to the fact that the country doesn't want their rights taken away, doesn't want the far right wing running things. And it's horrible across the state. I mean, right here, Katie, we know that in Central Florida, anti-Semitism has been on the rise, with Nazis literally marching on the streets here in Central Florida and in front of Disney. Asian hate has been on the rise, with hate related crimes to our Asian brothers, sisters, and siblings across the entire state. And so this governor needs to do something about it. We need to call this special session and come together. And it's going to get worse. And we said this about Don't Say Gay. We've said this about all this legislation. It's not just a culture war. It's not just a culture war. It's a real war. It's real war on black and brown lives and on people of color. And we have to not just call it out, but we have to use the power that we have. And I hope that the Department of Justice will launch an investigation into what's going on in this state. We have power with the administration, and we need the administration to help us in the state of Florida, because it's more than just Florida. It's spreading across the entire nation.
And, you know, Maxwell, it's not just the communities of color. It's the fact that you see a swastika that's on a weapon of war. You have a governor who remains silent when there's anti-Semitism that runs rampant in the state of Florida. It's a blessing that he gives, the anti-Semitism, because he doesn't stand up and say anything to make it stop. You have called, and you continue to call, as you just did right now, for a move, something to happen, some type of progress. But, you know, we can't even make progress even on common sense gun legislation, because you got to have the gun to affect the harm. You may have the thoughts, but you got to have something to actually make it happen. Is it possible for compromise, Maxwell, even on a federal level, for us to remain safe?
I hope to God that we can compromise. And I hope to God that we can even come to the table to have the discussion. Because, Katie, that's the problem. They don't even want to have the discussion. When there was two mass shootings within just a few hours in Tennessee, one of their congressmen got on TV and said, "There's nothing we can do. This is why I put my kid in private school." So they don't even want to admit there's a problem. They don't even want to talk about the solutions. And so it creates this situation where I'm going to Congress and we're debating on Hunter Biden's laptop and not talking about the issues that the American people actually care about: the gun violence that's claiming the lives of our children, the climate crisis, the racism, the anti-Semitism. And here's the thing, they're given passes too much. This governor will remove a black elected official from office, State Attorney Monique Worrell, put in another black judge who's very conservative and is part of the Federalist Society, and feel like he has a pass and he's okay with the black community. The same governor will, put out a tweet and say, "I support Israel," and then do nothing about the Nazis that are marching in Central Florida, thinking that it's enough to put out the tweet. And so this is the problem that we have. Politicians oftentimes get a pass with some of the bare minimum. There are issues right here, and we need to address them.
Nowhere is safe, so no one is safe. But with you at the helm, hopefully we can effect some change. Congressman Maxwell Frost, always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.